This is regarding the short, sci-fi short, See No Evil. This was really interesting. Um, I liked that it was black and white for the most part, and it almost felt like there was color in there, but it wasn't overdone. And just the colors and everything that the people were wearing, just everything had a nice tone to it. I really liked the visual effects with the eyes and the ears and the mouth when they were covered and weren't able to hear or speak or see. And I believe one of them had a hand missing. Just a really, really neat effects there. Some of it I was confused as to why some of the people's mouths weren't opening or eyes weren't opening at certain points when they were helping somebody else. So I was trying to figure that out, but it seemed like overall the message was about love and helping others and kindness, and you know, like those things kind of open our own eyes to the real people and not just judgment, you know, not judging people by their deformities or even judging people by their actions and their words, but to kind of go in deeper and help and show kindness and love, and you know, try to get to just showing the love. I think showing the love to me was the overall message here, and just putting the wreaths on their heads. It was like taking care of people, you know, let's take care of each other. And the beautiful shot at the end with the sunset, it was so gorgeous with the everybody standing there, and the behind the, you know, taking the shot behind them and looking out was really cool. Just everything about this was visually interesting and unique. The whole thing was unique, and there was no dialogue. So to show all of this with no dialogue and you know, express the thought of the filmmakers here was really cool. Really neat to watch and kind of see where it was going. And I just, for me, the overall message, like I said, was like kindness and love and helping each other. We really need to help each other, and I think at this time, you know, what we're going through in this day and age is really, really key and a big message. So great job to all of you guys.
Alright, I just finished watching See No Evil, which I thought was a very interesting piece. Obviously, the central conceit with the senses being blurred out, someone can't see or hear or taste. The variety of that approach I thought was interesting stylistically, obviously in a visual sense, but I thought that the piece had a very sort of meditative approach of what it meant to not have those senses, what it meant to sort of combine with other people and try to create a sense of community with people who are also missing senses, and seeing how you can sort of counterbalance those things by working together and being together. And I thought that the piece had a very sort of ethereal and spiritual undercurrent that matched sort of like human sensation and how you interact with the world, and how you create a sense of self. So I thought it had a very interesting stylistic approach that allowed you to have sort of multiple interpretations of what was going on, as well as her having a cohesive thematic idea in terms of expressing yourself, what it means to be a human being, what does it mean to sort of interact with your environment. So I thought it was a well done piece, a thoughtful piece with a sort of original premise, and I ended up enjoying the execution of it.
See No Evil. See No Evil is an interesting sci-fi short. We have this nice concept where we don't see the mouths of the main characters, and sometimes they even don't have a face at all. So the whole short is based without dialogues. I think it was very clever because it gives the audience the power to think about the dialogues, to imagine the dialogue. What kind of dialogue could it be? You know, so you have this kind of power where you can actually imagine yourself what the characters are saying, and at the same time you have a fascinating color grading, absolutely beautiful and stunning color palette, grayish, and I love the idea, and I love also the plot when then at some point they found these special rocks that give to the characters their mouth back. I think it was very powerful, very emotional, very moving, and overall it was a fantastic direction and a beautiful cinematography. Well done.
See No Evil was very interesting. One of the biggest things that I was very impressed by was the practical effects. The prosthetics that they used to basically hide different senses for each character was very impressive, and I found that to be a very interesting concept. How uh, each person was missing a certain element regarding that tale. See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. So some folks were missing their eyes, whereas others were missing their mouths, while some were missing their ears. Um, and it created a very interesting uh, conflict where there was an issue of communication. Um, Everyone could still touch and smell, but sight, sound, and taste were all limited. And there was this sense of longing from each person where you could tell that they wanted that aspect they were missing, which also made it interesting because they noticed how others were longing for things they had. So it was this never ending cycle of suffrage where you wanted something, but you notice that someone else wants what you have. Um, and there's no way to get that across because, again, each person is missing a core element of the five senses. And I found that very interesting.
See no evil. Well, this was an intriguing story concept. I enjoyed the use of elements of a little bit of film color and then black and white and no dialogue. I like how you're left to guess and come up with your own ideas of what's going on. I think the filmmaker doesn't want us to see this in the practical sense, but suggests that human connectedness is the key in survival for us. And the listening with the hands to the ears, I was wondering if that was a message from within the group of people or from a higher being or creator. That was interesting. And of course, at the end with the sunrise, it was beautiful the way some of the newly sighted people would see that, and those that couldn't see it would feel the warmth from the sun. It was just a really, really interesting film.
So I just watched the short film See No Evil. Really strong piece here. I thought it was well made and very emotion filled. I really appreciated the minimalism of this piece. It makes great use of silent visual storytelling. It also makes great use of its location with some amazing nature photography that I thought really lended some great production value. The film manages to convey a lot of different moods and emotions, all just through pure visuals and imagery. The film really is an emotional roller coaster. There's sadness and fear, hope, stillness. It's sort of constantly shifting. And I really liked the way the piece ended. It felt very hopeful, with the beautiful shot of the people overlooking the sunrise. I thought it was great. Yeah, overall, I thought this was a very well made film, and I enjoyed watching it.
I really liked See No Evil. It gave me like almost like Hunger Games vibes, like the Catching Fire, like Mockingjay, Katniss Everdeen vibes, as far as like the color palette and like the tone, I guess. Um, I don't know if that was intentional, but I rocked with it. Um, I like the concept with the with the different senses of like sight, smell, taste, touch, um, hearing. Um, and the way it was like all like different people have different stuff. I like that concept. And y'all use that to the max potential, I think. I also wanted to shout out the acting to carry to make me feel without dialogue. Speaks to visual storytelling, the directing and the acting, yo. Great job. Great job.